Hello whiskey lovers and welcome to another one of Mark's Whiskey Ramblings, and today it's Macallan Day. We'll be trying 4 Macallan in a row. We will start with the classic 12 years old on sherry casks, which has been around for as long as I can remember, 1980s. Then we will move on to the One Night on Earth in Scotland, which is the Hogmanay release for 2021. Next up, we have the first release in the Harmony collection, the Rich Cacao, and we will end things with the Macallan Estate. Now, let's get started with this classic of all Macallan, the Macallan 12 years old on sherry oak. Alright, so like I said, we'll start with the Macallan 12 years old sherry oak. It's the classic old Macallan, isn't it? Who does not long for the days when this was actually just a standard whiskey, an affordable whiskey? It would be the flagship of the distillery and everyone would have it in their cabinet. It was affordable and very good. The malt on which the distillery basically built its reputation, isn't it? I've tasted this many times and I quite like it, but so far I had not had the time to devote a rambling to it. So now before I finish off this bottle, let's get that out of the way and try this Macallan 12 years old sherry cask, which is bottled at 40% ABV. Beautiful mahogany color, bronze to mahogany, clings to the glass. It's a thick liquid. Yes, I'm actually quite looking forward to this one. The Macallan 12 years old sherry oak on the nose. Silky soft. It's got this intense fruitiness and all kinds of dark and overripe fruits. Try as you might, it's going to be quite difficult not to like this. Raisins, banana, figs. Oh, delicious. Right on the palate. More of the same on the palate, in fact. It's got a good body. It is soft and sweet, almost feminine, in fact. It's got these intense sherry notes, as if a drop of PX was added to my glass. It's got a good balance as well with a nice spiciness. I get some vanilla, some ginger in there, and it's got a great taste. Yes, this is actually quite a complex Macallan indeed on the finish. The finish could have been a bit longer, maybe, true, but I accuse the ABV. J'accuse. 40%, well, 43, maybe even 46 would make this a belter in my opinion. But I do get some cloves, some orange peel, some soft caramel, and it is mildly drying towards the end. And while 95 euros is actually quite steep for only a 12 years old whiskey, it is Macallan after all, and it is, in my opinion, worth it. If this were bottled at 50%, I'd even pay 120 for it, because this is, in fact, a lovely Macallan. Staple Macallan should be in everyone's cabinet. This is the quintessential Macallan single malt, the 12 years old. Moving on. That 12 years old sherry cask never disappoints. Moving on to this one, the Macallan One Night on Earth in Scotland. Weird name, but let's find out what this Hogmanay release 2021 has in store for us. Macallan A Night on Earth in Scotland. For the end of year celebrations, Macallan launched this A Night on Earth in Scotland last year in a rather quite elaborate packaging, isn't it? This is actually an artwork, if I can call it that, by the French-Japanese illustrator Jessica Dorn. Let me just put the packaging back together there. There we go. Oh, this is quite elaborate indeed. So clearly this is a gifting whiskey. The One Night on Earth in Scotland. Right. In all honesty, this is in stark contrast to what is in the bottle, as you will find out, because as you can see, I've tried it before, and well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's pour this liquid here. There we go. So this is ex-bourbon barrels, both American and European oak, and it is sherry seasoned. That oak is there as well, so it's a bit of a mixture. And this is again bottled at a minimum of 40% ABV. But to be fair, the price was low. This was 75 euros, well, low in terms of Macallan, I mean. This was 75 euros, and the intention was clear. It was to enable a wide audience to put a bottle under the Christmas tree for friends or family. So let's give this one a go. Again, bottled at 40% ABV, and the color is a light golden. The Macallan Hogmanay release 2021, A Night on Earth in Scotland, on the nose. Well, that nose offers apple cake, a cartload of caramel, some Werther's original and almond shavings, but lots of grain cookies mostly. It's quite young in my opinion, and to be completely honest, this nose is downright boring. Again, in terms of Macallan, this is meh. Hopefully the palate is a bit better. If anything, oh, I hope you didn't hold your breath, because it's not better on the palate. If anything, it's worse. It's on the contrary. This is, now, although it starts sweet, it goes very quickly in the bitter direction. I get some oranges and walnuts there, some cereal, and a cartload of vanilla there, and the caramel returns. Blindly, I might even call this a grain whiskey, maybe, or even a. It's very un-Macallan though. It's again, in terms of Macallan, I dare say this is in fact a tad embarrassing on the finish. Yeah, the finish is mercifully short, to be honest. And again, it remains bitter on some orange peel, some ginger, and at the death, there is even this chemical sweetener. No, this is not good. What a pity, because Macallan can do much better than this. I don't have to worry too much about the fact that the bottles disappeared from the shelf in the blink of an eye, because. And on the secondary market, it already yields double what the original cost was. That's not for me. Anyway, hopefully our next one will be much better. Well, wasn't much. That was a bit disappointing, to say the least, but maybe this one will rock our boat. The first release in the Harmony collection, the Rich Cacao. In 2021, Macallan launched this new series called the Harmony Collection, in which they collaborated again, I might add, with Jordi Roca. It's the dessert artist of the El Celler de Can Roca, the famous Michelin-starred restaurant in Girona in Spain. The Harmony Collection, the Rich Cacao, in collaboration with Jordi Roca, the pastry chef at the El Celler de Can Roca. Innovative packaging gives new life to discarded cacao husks. This was actually created, even the labels were created with recycled and biodegradable cacao husks. Macallan, sustainable. Anyway, that's not the point of this whiskey. In the meantime, already the fine cacao has appeared on the market and very quickly disappeared as well, to yield triple the original price on the secondary market. But anyway, in my glass now is the first edition of the Harmony collection. This is the Rich Cacao, and this is bottled at for Macallan, a bit of an extraordinary strength, because this was cut to 44% ABV. 44, not 40, not 43, not 46, 44. All right, let's give this one a go. The Macallan Harmony collection, Rich Cacao at 44% with this. It's a coppery, almost bronze color. This might actually be good. Let's find out on the nose. Well, the nose shows mainly notes from the sherry casks that were used. I get some cinnamon, some roasted malt, vanilla and candied ginger in there as well, and some caramelized orange peel. But cacao, whatever, not so much. Well, with a little goodwill, I do get that in there too, but I'd like to add that this is a very pleasant nose though. But tasting this blind, I would not say, oh, cacao. But hey, maybe on the palate. Mouth coating. Sweeter than the nose announced, so there is something. It does live up to its name now on the palate. I do get some cacao, some cloves, some cinnamon, and some nutmeg. Yes, this is quite spicy, and therefore also a bit drying. And apart from some orange, I barely get any other fruit though. Maybe a bit of dried apricot, but it is tasty on the finish. In the finish, some bitter oranges come through, while also some the flesh or the meat. I'm not sure how to say this. The flesh or meat of a pink grapefruit, not the juice, but the flesh. Yeah, you know what I mean. But the spices do have the final say. They are, yeah. Becomes quite spicy at the end. Well, actually, I found 145 euros a bit over the top when I bought this bottle. In the meantime, you will be paying 500 euros for this, and it's absolutely not worth it. That's incomprehensible. Even 145 was a bit at the steep end, but then again, it is Macallan. I'll be honest though, I like it. It's good. It's tasty. It's rich. It's mouth coating. It's spicy. It's got a bit of cocoa. Not rich cocoa, but it's got some cocoa in there. But it's nice. If any of you have got the fine cacao at home, open, and you're willing to send me a sample, get in touch, because I was unable to secure a bottle of the fine cacao. I'll have to make do with the rich cacao. Yeah, not bad at all. But we've got one more, don't we? Let's go get that one. And last but not least, we're moving on to this beautifully packaged Macallan Estate. And last but not least, we've got the Macallan Estate, named after Easter Elchies, a 485 hectare large estate, which can be found along the Spey. And it's basically a stone's throw away from the brand new distillery that looks a bit like Teletubby Land, but let that not distract you from the quality of what's inside the bottle. Master blender Sarah Burgess was inspired by the estate to create these releases. The Macallan Estate is a no-wage statement release, but it is distilled from barley that was grown in the own fields. So the whiskey got a very exclusive packaging, as you can see, which is meant to convince the consumer to actually pay up to 215, I believe I paid for this bottle. It's quite a lot of money, isn't it? It can still be found on the shelves though, but well, anyway, let's just give this one a go. And the Macallan Estate, is bottled at 43% ABV. Beautiful dark golden color. It's like old gold, almost amber, and it clings to the glass. This is again going to be a mouth coating malt, I believe. Right, let's find out if the Macallan Estate at 43% is any good on the nose. Oh, now that nose is wonderfully aromatic, I'll be honest. Lots of sherry influences there in the guise of some nutmeg, some cinnamon, caramelized nuts, some orange oil, some banana flambeed, lots of sweet malt and a hint of dark honey with some dried fruits in there. All in all, quite good, but friendly, very approachable. That's not a bad thing on the palate. On the palate, the nuts and the orange, the candied ginger, those predominate. Those come first. And then it's followed by some milk chocolate and leather, some raisins in there, cinnamon, nutmeg again, and followed by some dry oak and orange peel. Some butter toast comes there as well, and some freshly ground coffee. All in all, this is actually quite good. But again, soft and friendly. It's not awe-inspiring, but it is quite a lovely single malt, in fact, on the finish. Now that is a finish. Now that's good. It's the best part. The finish is very good. It's long, it is spicy, it is warming, with beautiful notes of oranges after death. This is good. This is good. There's Macallan is the kind of whiskey that will divide the room. On the one hand, you've got the label drinkers, the collectors who will swear by Macallan no matter what they put out. And then you've got the other people who don't like Macallan because of the name, because of the fact that they premiumize, because of the fact that they're very expensive, because of the fact that there's a lot of bombasticness going around. It's Macallan. This one is smack in the middle. It'll please everyone that drinks Macallan, loves Macallan, collects Macallan. And it will also convince the naysayers. This is really, well, maybe the price is a bit too steep for the naysayers, but this is really a very pleasant malt, bar the price. But really, no need to beat around the bush. This is actually a delicious Macallan. Right, so, and that's it for all this Macallan tasting that we've done today. So we started with the classic 12 years old, which is absolutely delicious and a must drink quintessential Macallan. The A Night on Earth in Scotland. Let's not go there anymore. Let's just quickly forget about this boring, almost grain-like, embarrassing Macallan. Then the rich Cacao was actually quite nice, but a bit steep in price, let's be honest. And then we've got this Macallan Estate, which is actually very satisfying indeed. 4 Macallan in a row. I think my favorite is simply the classic 12 years old on Sherry Oak. It's one of the more affordable and absolutely delicious Macallan. And that's all for this Whisky Rambling, and I hope to see you at one of Mark's Whisky Ramblings real soon. Until then, may the malt be with you.